The other different.
Are they fixing
Yeah. All right, it's time. We're actually starting a few minutes late. I apologize, but I will give you that full hour. I promise. How are you feeling today in your bodies? First of all, feeling good?
Better than yesterday. I thought the moon was gonna keep me up again.
Yeah.
It's building on calling me, but I was actually able to sleep more last night.
Good.
My
Yes.
dog and I are tied to the full moon. This dog always wants to go out and we're always out like, oh, it's a full moon. Let's go.
It is a full moon today. And usually we're not doing the full Ashtanga primary series, but on Wednesdays I'm doing more of an amped up physical practice. So Blissful turns into kind of an Ashtanga mix. So with that being said, Ashtanga primary series is not normally practiced on the full moon. We're still going to be doing that, but we're not doing the full primary series. So you don't have to worry about overexerting. I just want to say that on Monday, when I returned back to teaching, I was bringing up the fact that I had just led this yoga retreat out in Greece. And I was talking about the island that we were on and the trip that we had taken to the monastery that was over 1,000 years old. And the one thing that I'm going to say about that story that actually still ties in on today is the fact that I've noticed in all these chapels and churches and even in the monastery, the door was exceptionally small, like half the size of a regular door. And they were telling us that it's done on purpose, that you're meant to basically make yourself small as you're going into this holy place, which makes sense from a Christian standpoint. But from a yogic standpoint, this is what I want to emphasize today. The yogic idea is when we do this spiritual practice, when we go inside through our physical work, through our mental capability of honing in the focus and dropping into our hearts, we start to realize there is something infinite within us, that we are this soul, and it's vast and it's big, it's bigger than life. It's more than the shell of body, it's more than the intelligence or the thoughts running through our brain. And so the idea in yoga is to drop into yourself and to become empowered, to drop into yourself and find your strength, to drop into yourself and realize and recognize you are a light body. And you are now being told through science over and over again, we have the same stuff in us that makes up the stars in the celestial skies. So we are something enormous. And be excited about that. So I want you to remember that as we explore this practice, because I want you to tap into that place inside that is beautiful, that has value, that has worth, that you can flow into abundance. And there are infinite possibilities that are around you. We could just align with that. And yes, it's a full moon. Anytime there's a full moon, we look at kind of where it's at. And it's at 21 degrees and 21 minutes. In Capricorn right now, and it's opposite of the sun, that's 21/21 in the sign of Cancer. They're both cardinal signs, and one is masculine and one is feminine. And so it is about trying to find a balance. Today is also Guru Purnima, which is about honoring your teachers. So maybe, I don't know if you guys I love Dave Chappelle. And I know he can be very controversial, but the controversy with him shouldn't be about what he's saying, because he's truly an artist and he's a comedian, and he's so open-minded and he's so embracing of all people. The media just likes to tear him down. But he gave this acceptance speech, and I highly suggest you watch it. It's not his normal comedic act, but we even watched it with our kids yesterday because it was so powerful. He was talking about how important his schooling was and how important his teachers were when he was in high school. He relocated from Ohio to DC, and he was zoned for a school that wasn't a great school. He didn't feel safe going to school. There were weapons coming into the school, there were drug dealers at the school. He didn't feel safe, and he wanted to be a comedian. And he started to go into these comedic shows. And he started talking to a comedian. He was like, I really want to do what you're doing. And he said, well, you need to learn how to act. And he went home and told his parents, and his parents said, you know what? There's an art school here. You have to audition, but you could learn to act. And so they let him get an audition. He tanked the audition. But at the end of the audition, when we knew he tanked it, they asked him an important question. Why do you want to act? And he says, I don't want to act. But I was told I needed to act to become a comedian. And that answer of honesty got him into the school, even though he tanked the audition. And he went through a list of certain teachers, and he went through a list of certain students that empowered him and inspired him to hone in on his craft. And I highly suggest you watch that speech. And I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to be the spoiler, but it was incredible because he was honoring the people from his past that helped him to be the person he is today. And it was so good, we wanted our own children to watch it. So who have been your teachers from the time you were young? Who have been your teachers in the areas of life that are really important to you? And it could even be your child. One of my, my child is one of my gurus, for sure. He's a direct reflection of me. And he points out when I'm wrong. And he really enlightens me through conversations and helps me see things from a different angle. Whereas I'm just kind of looking at it from one direction, and he can help me expand that. So it may be someone that's not even expected to be your teacher. So I want you to realize today is about honoring them, maybe in your heart or maybe verbally if you see them, or reaching out to them somehow. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to sit and breathe a minute. We're going to get up and move. So let's start sitting, hands resting on the lap and eyes gently turned down. Notice how sometimes when we slump in our posture, we don't even realize that we're playing small and we're hiding and dimming our light. So imagine your light is beaming out from your heart. So lift your chest and spread your collarbones and descend your shoulders. Elongate the sides of the neck and lift up through the crown of your head. And begin breathing. Breathing in a more forceful manner so that you're mindfully controlling your breath. Increasing that intake of oxygen into your lungs. And improving the amount of life force energy that you're drawing into yourself. Try to maintain this feeling of expansion and openness that you're receiving on the in-breath, even as you breathe out. Take a few more deep breaths. And then gently crack the eyelids open. You're going to go ahead and come up to stand and begin to move. So we start off with sun salutations. We're going to start off with this simple A. So we're coming to the top of the mat. Look down and draw the base of your feet. Spread your toes. Locking your legs and then draw the hands to prayer position at your heart. As you inhale, let your arms lift up alongside your face, and as you exhale, begin to pour down as you hinge from your hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen out halfway. And as you exhale, you're planting your palms, you're stepping back to plank, immediately dropping to chaturanga. As you inhale, you're rising into up dog. And as you exhale, you're rolling back to down dog. Pressing into the palms, pressing down into the feet. Letting the head lower between the arms. On your next inhale, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat. You can meditationally walk, lunge, or float both feet together. Lifting up halfway when you do so, and then as you exhale, drop back down again. Inhale, root down to soar up. And then exhale, bringing hands home to the heart. All right, we keep that rolling. Inhale, open up, create that extension, and then exhale, close into self. Inhale, sprout up. And as you exhale, taking it through plank, immediately sinking down to chaturanga. That's in one exhale. Lifting on the in-breath and rolling back on the out-breath. Lengthening through the arms. Opening up space in the spine. Carrying your sits bones skyward. Activate that Udaya breath if you haven't already. Straighten the back of the throat so you can hear the breath swirling as it enters and exits. So on your next in-breath, let's land the feet and open up the chest as you lengthen up halfway. And then as you exhale, drop back into your Uttanasana. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, bringing hands closer to the heart. All right, we're continuing. Inhaling. Exhale, open the back of the body. Inhale, create some extension through the spine. And exhale to Chaturanga Dandasana. So you're passing through plank quickly. And eventually, when it becomes a part of your practice, you can jump right back to Chaturanga, skipping plank altogether. Listen to your breath. Make it audible to hear. That can be your meditation. Inhale, plant the feet at the top of the mat and lengthen out through the vertebrae. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Inhale all the way up to stay. And exhale, Samasthiti. We're doing another. Inhale. Exhale. In and halfway up. Out and lower down. Building that upper body strength. Inhale, stretch out through your belly and back. And exhale, use your core strength to transition to downward facing dog. Inhale to the top of the mat. Open the heart. And then exhale, roll down. Inhale up. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're going to move into the B Surya Namaskaras. Inhale, you're coming to Utkatasana, your chair pose. Exhale, fold straight down. In and halfway up. Out to that low push-up position. Continue with that vinyasa. And once you land in downward facing dog, we're immediately stepping the right foot forward, lowering the left foot down, coming up to Virabhadrasana 1. Front knee lunging, back thigh rolling in, arms straightening the face. And now bring the hands down. Step it back, slow again. Using your breath. And once in down dog, left foot steps through next, back heel lowers, and coming up to warrior 1. Both feet planted, spine erect over the hips. Good, exhale, hands down. Step it back. Use the breath to take you in and out of these positions. And then continue to breathe once you're holding this third downward facing dog in the mix. Let the breath take you home to your heart, to the embodiment of your soul, towards your vast, infinite self. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we continue with B, a couple more rounds. Inhale to chair. Zip up through your midriff. Bring in that core support. Exhale, fold straight down. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. Exhale to chaturanga, so you can step through plank. Moving into the back bend. And then casting the hips back down dog. Right foot leads, warrior one. Exhale, release. And continue that flow of movement. Left foot steps forward next. Being in that position, and then continuing that flow. So feel the heat that you're generating in your body. And keep allowing the movement to stem from your core. Activating that inner Agni. And remember, this Ujjayi breath is an invigorating breath. Inhale, plant the feet at the top, lifting halfway as you do. Exhale, belly, chest, face, straight down. Inhale, knees bend, arms lift, core active. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, we're doing one more beat today. Inhale, take chair. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Tip your weight forward towards your toes. In and look up and down. Exhale to chaturanga, however you want to get there. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale rolls you back. Right foot steps through. Warrior one. Exhale, hands down and float. Left foot leads next. Warrior one. And repeat. We're going at a nice pace. Slow, steady breathing creates a nice, slow, steady pace. Breathe with depth. To go deeper within. Inhale, feet land at the top. Lengthen out when you arrive. And then exhale, fall back in. Inhale to Utkatasana, your chair. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right. Hands together, feet apart. Shoulders roll back. Lean back. And then exhale, gently lower. Hook the first two fingers around each big toe. Bend the forearms away from the shins and gently lower down. Crown of the head should be facing the floor. Sits bones rising up in the air. A version of Vastness. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. You're gonna flip your hands open and you're gonna slide them underneath the soles of the feet. So you're literally standing on your hands. Now, try not to put all the weight in your heels. You actually want to shift your weight forward so you feel the weight of your body going directly into your hands. Parahastasana. Foot over hand pose. Gently release one hand at a time. Hands to the hips and slowly come up. Feet together. And we're gonna step off to one side. So it doesn't matter which side you're facing. Usually we step to the right, but again, you may want to turn to facing it, no big deal. We're gonna turn the right foot wherever that's facing. We're gonna extend the arms out shoulder height. We're gonna lengthen over the right leg and then windmill the hand down to the shin, to the ankle, to the foot, wherever it's comfortable. Wherever you feel like you can create linear lines for triangle pose. So maybe since today is the day of honoring teachers, you can think of 3 people in this moment and send your gratitude to them. It can also be towards people who have given you an opportunity to share your gifts. Inhale, draw up through the left hand, turn the right foot in, left foot out. Now we'll extend over the left side, windmill down to triangle. Can you roll the left shoulder back? Can you stack over that left side? Can you fan the fingers on the upper hands? And even though you're rooting your feet, can you send your energy up towards the heavens above? Inhale, draw up. Exhale, relax your arms. Rotate that left foot, then your right. Now, once you rotate the right foot all the way, we're not done with the back foot. It's actually going to be best if you offset that foot and turn it in more at an angle so that you can really square your hips. Take your hands to your hips and feel how they align and they're more symmetric. And now send your left arm side. As you exhale, pour out over the right leg. The hand can come to rest on the leg itself or fingertips to the ground. And you're sending your right arm up as you rotate to the right. Revolving triangle. Squeeze and tuck the right hip in. And take one more breath. Inhale, drive up. That is not an easy pose. Spin the feet, left foot turns to the edge of the mat. Right foot can offset, and then the hips can find their symmetry. Right arm reaches side. Exhale, lead with that side as you pour over. Maybe hand to the leg somewhere, or fingertips to the floor or block. Left arm ascends up. Reach out again through the tailbone to the crown of your head and tuck the left hip in. Most importantly, breathe. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, turn your feet. Now we offset that back foot. So when you square the feet again, set them up properly, parallel. Then turn the right foot, lunge the right knee. Prop onto that thigh bone. Take the left arm up or possibly over towards your ear. Get heavy through your feet to activate the muscles through the foundation, through your lower body, through the red ray energy. And then keep shining out through the left side, through the left fingertips. Maybe even affirming mentally within, I'm strong, resilient. I am strong, powerful. Inhale, bring it up. Keep the arms extended, rotate your right foot in, left foot out. Lunge the left knee, prop onto that thigh. Right arm reaches straight up or over towards your ear. We have a tendency to put more weight into that front foot, but equally apply it to your back foot. At the same time, roll open through your belly and chest. Inhale, drive it up. Turn the left foot in, relax your arms a moment. Right foot will rotate. I'm gonna spin completely off my left heel. And then taking the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, glue the palms together, dial the heart towards your thumbs. Remember how we tucked the hip in revolving triangle? Do the same thing here in revolving side angle. Good, exhale, unwind, plant your back foot, safely come up. Turn the feet square, left foot rotates around. Back heel lifts as you lunge that knee. Crank to the outside of that left thigh with your right arm. Palms to namaste at the heart as you revolve into your twist. I am strong and powerful. I am strong and resilient. I'm strong in embracing a change, even if it's radical change. Exhale, unwind, slowly plant your back foot, safely come up, turn the feet square. Hands to the hips, shoulders roll back, gently hinge over. Prasarita Padottanasana B. So the hands are going to stay at the waist, the shoulders stay back, the elbows keep flying up. The feet are rooting, the kneecaps are lifting, the quads are engaged. The breath is full. Now usually there's A, B, C, D. We've just been doing a couple of these. Today we're doing B and C. So root your feet, slowly come up. The C variation is now lacing the hands behind our back, shoulders roll back, and you may enjoy just standing and working and isolating the shoulders. But if you want to work the hamstrings again, go ahead and gently descend down. Knuckles rising. Face soften. Breathing slow and steady. Perhaps even noticing what is this full moon highlighting in your life. It's probably showing what house, astrologically, it's falling in within your personal natal chart. Each house is different. Inhale, gently come all the way up to stand. Now relax your arms. And we're going to turn the right foot around again. We're going to offset the left foot. And we're squaring the hips. Now you can either do one of two things. Doing first, namaste behind the back. Seeing if that's even probable. If that's not probable, that's okay. Cross your arms. No big deal. Open the chest and throat first. And then exhale, slowly begin to cascade over the right leg. Slightly turning your navel and your left ribs over towards your right thigh. Gazing towards your foot, the Padayurgram Drishti. If that strains your neck, obviously you can make the head heavy and look more towards your knee. We do these standing postures for at least 5 breaths. And inhale, slowly coming up. Rotate around. Now, if your hands were in reverse namaste, stay there. If your arms were crossed, you're going to crisscross the opposite way. And then open up first And then gently lean out over, taking your time. So this is one of those practices where your body really has to, you know, do it to be more conditioned in it. So if you start to feel any type of cramping in the feet, it's actually pretty normal. So just feel free to take a break, work that out before you re-enter a pose. Inhale, slowly starting to come up. And as you start to come up, relax your arms from behind your back. You can spin the feet to be neutral, but if you're already facing the front, you can go ahead and step up to the top of the mat. Once you find your way here, hands to prayer position at the heart. As we inhale, we're bending the knees, but instead of leaning forward like we would typically in chair, like with the V suns out, we're actually bringing the spine, continuing to lift it over the hips. The head hangs back and the palms join together. Breathe. Now straighten your legs. Hold straight down the middle. The hands can separate once you continue to spill over. On your next inhale, we're stepping into our plank. Taking our next vinyasa. And then from here, when we arrive to downward facing dog, you can either jump through to sit at the top of the mat, or you can gently lower to your knees, come down to your seat, and then switch the feet out in front. You may not feel like jumping through, especially with the full moon. Flex the feet, lift the arms up overhead. Okay, first of all, I want you to notice where you're at on your sit bones. All right, bring the arms back down. We're gonna recorrect. Take your hands under your seat. Pull that flesh out so that you're connecting more to those bones. And did you feel when you pulled the flesh out how you moved to a little bit forward of the sits bone? That's what we want. So stay there, lift your arms forward and up. Exhale, keep that pelvic tilt as you fold over the legs. So don't feel like you have to grab the feet. If you can, obviously, they're there for you. Otherwise, just let them rest beside you. Ideally, you wouldn't want to force the head down unless your belly's already down. Your chest is already down. And I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to bring in this Ananda affirmation. I'm safe, I'm sound, and good things come to me. I was listening to a podcast about this particular full moon, and she said, don't worry if everything's falling apart, because everything is still coming together. And I love the way she worded that. Inhale, gently build up. Go ahead and slide your right foot back, and then open from the hip. We're going to move into Janu Shasana. Lift the arms up overhead. Slightly go ahead and turn your navel towards that left knee, and then gently pour out over. Again, you may or may not be able to catch the foot. Usually one leg extended, you have a little bit more flexibility than with both legs extended, but still don't force that action. I want you to consider that concept. Even if everything's falling apart, trust that everything is coming together. I've been saying for 2 years now, our whole society is meant to collapse. And there will be a real rebuilding because everything is written in the stars. And this is all occurring as it should. So just trust and surrender, trust and surrender. It's the hardest thing to do. But as yogis, that's what we're learning to do, to trust and to surrender. Yes, we're strong and empowered, but we also have to trust the higher power and the divine plan. Inhale it, slowly come up. With this idea, lift your right knee, slide your right leg out, bend your left hand, open up. From that hip, we'll bring in the affirmation on this side. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, slightly turn the navel towards that right knee as you pour down and over. And this time I want you to close your eyes. I want you to consider all of that. I'm affirming here, left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. Left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. Inhale it, slowly build it up. We're lifting the left knee, we're sliding that leg out, and we're bending the right knee. Keeping some separation between the foot and the thigh, because the right arm is gonna be set through the inside of it, and we're gonna turn, twist the arm. Continue to rotate it so it hooks in front of the shin towards the back of the thigh or hip. And then we reach through the left arm and we swing that arm behind the back, perhaps catching the other hand. Don't worry if it doesn't touch. It takes a while to get there. So just trust the unfoldment and openings that are coming into your body. This is about a forward fold. It's okay to drip the head down. Activate that pranayama. Still doing that Ujjayi breath. Slowly come up. You're going to take the right hand to catch the right heel. You're going to lift it up. You're going to turn that foot so the left hand takes the top of the foot to bring it towards a half lotus. Check in. If that's too much for your knee, just leave it out and put the foot here instead, please. All right, from here, we take that right arm. We kind of twist towards the windows in order to take the arm as far around as possible. You may or may not catch the foot, that's all right. Just take it around behind your back. Keep the right hand behind you as you turn back to face the front. The left arm reaches overhead. Exhale, pour it down. The breath will help to mold into this position. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, remove the back hand. Take that hand underneath the right knee, lift it up and plant the left foot. Hook the left arm around it, and then invest in the lengthening of your back. And then twirl to the right, right hand stacks behind you. Taking this seated twist. Good, exhale, unwind. Extend the right leg. All right, we can do that sequence over here now. Slide the left foot in. Left arm to the inside. Try not to get frustrated with these fancier poses. Because I know when I first did Ashtanga, this is where I would get frustrated. Turn your hand and rotate and hook it. Extend your right arm, swim it behind your back. And again, it doesn't matter if the hands don't hook together. You're just doing your best in where you're at right now. We'll start to see progression. That's the nice thing about doing kind of the same sequence week after week, Because you'll start to notice, my shoulders are beginning to open. I'm finally getting more flexibility in my hamstrings. Oh, whatever was locked in my hip is getting unlodged. You start to see and notice those things, and you can celebrate those things. All right, inhale, let's draw it up. Release that left arm, take a hold of the heel, pick up the foot, turn that foot. Right hand will take a hold of it to help to stack it in half lotus. And again, please don't force, just let it land to the ground if need be. We're gonna circle that left arm behind the back, take the twist, and then be sure to face the front as you elevate the right arm. And then that will give you the opportunity to fold straight down. Again, it's not about the foot, it's about taking the arm behind the back. This way we're taking a counter position, and especially after all those chaturangas we're doing. In and halfway up. Pause. And then release the hands. And then lift the left knee, plant that left foot, hug it in with the right arm. Let the left arm circle back behind you to rotate around in the other direction. Breathing with depth and control. Now I want you to consider for a moment teachers in your life, the people who've given you opportunities in life. And bring this affirmation to them. I radiate my love, goodwill, and compassion to those teachers, those people who give